I am Amresh Srivastava and I work in assessment program which receives patients of acute schizophrenia. Today I am going to talk about psychoeducation, which is an important component of management of schizophrenia. I am supported in this initiative by two of my colleagues who work in field of schizophrenia with special interest, and I'd like them to introduce themselves to you. Yes, Coralie, please go ahead.
My name is Coralie Berlamont, and I'm a social worker, and I frequently work with individuals and their families around mental illness.
My name is Lenore Perdue, and I'm a registered nurse and a social worker, and I work in the community providing intensive case management to those who have been diagnosed with a psychosis.
We are now going to start with the components of psychoeducation. What it means that here is a potential situation that a young man has been hospitalized and his parents are distressed, and we want to give the family as much information as necessary, as accurate as possible, and as scientific as it is. And I would request Coralie to start with the presentation.
Today we want to talk to individuals and their families about schizophrenia and mental illness. We hope to be able to provide you with a toolkit that will help you succeed. Education helps provide you and your family with the power to understand and the power to conquer mental illness. It also provides you with the success to cope and to move on. You do have the ability to succeed, and we're hoping to help show you how to do that today. Luckily, we've moved forward in terms of understanding mental illness and schizophrenia. In the past, schizophrenia often meant despair, despondency, basically somebody didn't have a chance for a future. Luckily, as we move forward, we know that that's not true. We know that people do have a hope, do have a future, and do have a chance to succeed. John Nash is a Nobel Prize winner, but he's also well known for the movie A Beautiful Mind. A Beautiful Mind is a good example of somebody who has overcome schizophrenia, and it's widely known and seen throughout the world. This movie shows how John Nash suffered with schizophrenia and how he had to work to move past this illness and still succeed. So we see in the movie how he's diagnosed with schizophrenia and how he's often not understood or accepted by his peers. But John Nash knew he had something inside of himself to give to others, and he fought to give that. So he overcame his mental illness, and he ended up contributing to society.
Last 50 years, treatment of schizophrenia is revolutionized. We need to be ready to understand this and take advantage of scientific developments. Our patients who are suffering from schizophrenia whom we treat, recover much better than many other chronic physical conditions, like neurological conditions or chronic metabolic conditions. It is the difficulty of awareness amongst people that they fail to take advantage of a scientific advancement or treatment advancement. My first dialogue with the relatives is that there is no one to blame. Schizophrenia is an illness which is a brain disease. It is not an illness where you hold yourself responsible.
Now we're going to talk about some very common myths that are often heard. Myths are rampant throughout society about schizophrenia, and we want to talk about what those myths are and to show you that those myths are often not true. So we're going to talk about what does not cause schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is not caused because somebody has a bad parent or is a bad parent. It's just simply not caused by parenting.
Schizophrenia is also not caused by various childhood experiences. There's nothing within your childhood or your children's raising that could have contributed to this diagnosis.
Schizophrenia is not caused because someone is poor or because somebody is in a certain economical or social class. Schizophrenia affects people in all sorts of social status, economic classes. It can happen to anybody.
Schizophrenia is also not caused by laziness or desire to avoid working. Often one of the symptoms of psychosis is a lack of motivation, which is often confused with being one of the characteristics of schizophrenia, or that it is caused by that lack of motivation. It is not true.
Schizophrenia is also not caused because someone just wants to be a loner, they're violent, or they just don't really like people. You might see people act like this with schizophrenia, but it's not because of a choice that they've made, it's because of symptoms that they're experiencing.
Schizophrenia also is not made up to get attention or sympathy. The symptoms of schizophrenia are very difficult and very traumatic. No one would make up or create these symptoms in order to get attention.
And you frequently hear people feeling like schizophrenia is split personalities. Schizophrenia is not split personalities. It's nothing like split personalities, and we're hoping today that will show you the differences with all of these common myths.
And most importantly, schizophrenia is not untreatable. Fortunately, we've come a long way in the treatment of schizophrenia, and there is a great deal of hope, and there's a future for those with schizophrenia.
Often the question arises and families wonder, and when they first meet us, they want to know what exactly they can do now, what role they can play, and how they can help speed up the recovery of their loved one. Our suggestion is that first, we advise relatives to keep an open mind, not to go by any past experiences or the stories about others that they might have heard, and reach out to the treatment team and discuss any concerns that they have. This would be very helpful.
Have faith in the treatment team. Your treatment team is made up of experts who have chosen to specialize in this type of illness. Have faith in their knowledge and expertise, and be a partner in the care. Participate in decision making. Be informed. Do research. Family members need to know information, treatment details, and their own roles and responsibilities. The treatment team will help you to address these issues.
So there's many common questions that people ask when they come